Based on the latest verifiable information available, there is no significant news specifically dated December 30th, 2025 regarding a major revaluation of the Iraqi dinar or a sudden economic shift. The most recent authoritative statements strongly contradict rumors of an imminent change to the dinar's value. However, understanding the dinar's current status and Iraq's economic challenges requires looking at recent verified developments. Here are the key points. Current status of the Iraqi dinar. The Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, has been very clear. In an official statement from late November 2025, it categorically denied any intention to amend the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. The bank described rumors of a revaluation as speculation aimed at disrupting the market and undermining economic stability. Official exchange rate. The official rate set by the CBI is 1,300 Iraqi dinars to $1. Parallel market rate. In practice, the dollar trades at a higher rate in the local market. As of a recent report, the exchange rate in Baghdad's parallel market was around 1,439 to 1,445.5 dinars per dollar. This gap between the official and market rates is a persistent issue. Central bank's focus. The CBI states that its core objective is price stability, a goal it claims to have achieved by pushing inflation to historically low levels in the region. Critical challenges facing Iraq's economy. While the dinar's value is officially stable, Iraq's broader economy faces significant headwinds, as outlined by the International Monetary Fund in its 2025 assessment. Heavy reliance on oil. Iraq's economy is extremely vulnerable to oil price swings. The IMF notes that the oil price needed to balance the national budget has risen sharply, meaning even a modest drop in prices can quickly create a large deficit. Slowing non-oil economy and fiscal pressures. After strong growth in 2023, the non-oil sector slowed significantly in 2024. With lower oil revenues, the government faces financing constraints, leading to spending cuts and the accumulation of arrears, which further dampen economic activity. Urgent need for reform. The IMF emphasizes that without significant reforms, fiscal deficits and debt are projected to worsen. Key recommended actions include controlling public spending, particularly the large public wage and pension bill, boosting non-oil revenues through tax administration and eventually introducing a general sales tax, and implementing structural reforms in banking, electricity, and governance to unlock growth and attract investment. Today, December 30th, 2025, the Iraqi dinar remains officially stable at 1,300 dinars to the US dollar, as confirmed by the International Monetary Fund. However, beneath this official stability, Iraq's economy is facing a series of pronounced headwinds and urgent calls for reform from international institutions. Iraq's current economic situation. The economic outlook as of late 2025 is challenging. Following a very strong growth of 13.8% in 2023, the non-oil part of Iraq's economy, which includes services, agriculture, and construction, slowed sharply to an estimated 2.5% in 2024. This slowdown is driven by reduced public investment, weaker trade, and significant financing constraints. In 2024, the Iraqi government spent more than it earned, resulting in a fiscal deficit of 4.2% of GDP. This deficit forced the government to start accumulating arrears, essentially delaying payments for things like energy and capital projects. A key reason behind this is the country's heavy reliance on oil. The oil price required to balance Iraq's national budget has risen dramatically from $54 per barrel in 2020 to around $84 in 2024. With global oil prices falling, this dependency has created a significant financial squeeze. IMF's urgent recommendations for reform. The IMF has completed its annual review of Iraq's economy and issued a stark warning. Without significant reforms, fiscal deficits and debt are projected to worsen. They have laid out a clear, multi-point plan for urgent action. Immediate fiscal priorities, short-term. Control spending. Review and limit all non-essential government expenditures for 2025. Boost revenues. Increase non-oil income by revising customs duties and raising excise taxes. Essential structural reforms, medium term. Reform the public wage bill. The government spending on wages and pensions is unsustainable. Reforms must include limiting mandatory hiring and adopting rules to naturally reduce the workforce. Modernize the tax system. Strengthen tax administration and prepare to introduce a general sales tax. Restructure the banking sector. Finalize plans to restructure state-owned banks, address bad loans, and improve governance. The Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, should continue modernizing the system and helping private banks. Fight corruption and improve governance. Enact laws on transparency, strengthen anti-corruption bodies, and align laws with international standards to build trust and attract investment. The political context. The economic challenges are deeply intertwined with Iraq's political landscape. Just recently, Haibat al-Halabusi was selected as the new Speaker of Parliament. An analysis suggests this reflects a continuation of a political system based on sectarian quotas rather than a break from past practices. The article argues that Parliament has become a body that records decisions made elsewhere, lacking the authority to drive real legislative change or oversight. This political reality makes implementing the tough economic reforms recommended by the IMF particularly difficult. The dinar's exchange rate and banking reforms. Regarding the Iraqi dinar, the official exchange rate is projected to hold at 1,300 IQD per USD through 2026. However, a parallel market exists where the dollar trades for more dinars. The Central Bank of Iraq has been commended for a key achievement, successfully transitioning to a new trade finance system now fully managed by commercial banks. This reform has already helped reduce the gap between the official and parallel market exchange rates. Further efforts to stabilize the currency include the need for the CBI to absorb excess liquidity in the financial system by issuing more short-term bills. The IMF also recommends imposing dinar usage for major transactions like cars and real estate, improving customs controls to curb smuggling, and simplifying access to foreign exchange. Long-term vision for growth. The IMF estimates that deep structural reforms could double Iraq's non-oil economic growth potential. Critical areas for investment and change include labor market, increasing workforce participation, especially among women, by improving education and removing legal barriers. Electricity sector. Chronic power shortages and massive distribution losses, 55% in 2024, cripple productivity. Reforms must accelerate, including improving billing, collection, and eventually adjusting tariffs. Diversification. Investing in trade and transportation infrastructure, like the Development Road project, is crucial to reducing dependence on oil. I hope this detailed overview provides a solid foundation for your knowledge. The story is one of a resilient nation at a critical economic crossroads, facing tough choices between short-term stability and the long-term reforms needed for sustainable growth. If you're interested, I could provide more specific details on areas like the banking sector reforms, the electricity crisis, or the political dynamics affecting economic policy.